All right, let's talk Braveheart. This 1995 Mel Gibson epic, with its sweeping vistas and blue face paint, captured the imaginations of audiences worldwide. It told the story of William Wallace, a Scottish warrior who fought for freedom against English rule. We were treated to scenes of epic battles, passionate speeches, and of course, a whole lot of kilts. The film was a massive success, bagging 5 Oscars, including Best Picture and Best Director for Gibson himself. But here's the rub. Braveheart plays fast and loose with historical accuracy. It's more akin to a Hollywood action flick than a carefully researched documentary. And that's fine to a point. But it does raise some interesting questions about the way we consume history through the lens of entertainment. So buckle up as we dive into the mud and the mayhem of Braveheart to separate the historical wheat from the cinematic chaff. Because, as we all know, the truth is often far more interesting than any Hollywood fabrication. In the movie, Gibson paints Wallace as a simple farmer driven to rebellion after the English murder his secret bride, Murren. We see him rally the Scottish clans, sporting his iconic blue face paint and leading them to victory against the English at the Battle of Stirling Bridge. He becomes a symbol of Scottish resistance, even after his capture and brutal execution. Along the way, we meet other key players: the ambitious Robert the Bruce, the cunning Princess Isabel of France, and the cruel King Edward I, who earns the nickname Longshanks for his, well, long shanks. The film weaves a tale of love, betrayal, and ultimately, the fight for freedom against all odds. The movie's emotional core lies in Wallace's unwavering dedication to Scottish independence. His final cry of freedom before his execution has become one of cinema's most iconic moments, solidifying his image as a national hero. Now, let's peel back the layers of Hollywood fiction and delve into the real William Wallace. Born in the 13th century, Wallace was indeed a key figure in the wars of Scottish independence. But unlike his movie counterpart, he wasn't a peasant farmer. He came from a family of lower-ranking nobility, meaning he likely had some military training. While we don't know the exact details of his early life, we know he rose to prominence during the Scottish rebellion against English rule. He's credited with leading the Scots to victory at the Battle of Stirling Bridge, a pivotal moment in the conflict. However, Wallace's victories were short-lived. He was defeated at the Battle of Falkirk and spent several years on the run before being captured and executed by the English in 1305. While his time as Guardian of Scotland was brief, his impact on Scottish national identity was significant. Now here's where things get interesting. Braveheart takes some serious liberties with historical accuracy. Remember that dramatic scene where Wallace's love, Murren, is killed by an English soldier, prompting his rebellion? Yeah, that's completely made up. There's no historical evidence to suggest Wallace had a wife, let alone one named Murren. And that iconic blue face paint? Also a fabrication. While some historians believe the Picts, an ancient people of Scotland, might have used woad as body paint, there's no evidence to suggest Wallace or his men followed that practice. And don't even get me started on the Battle of Stirling Bridge in the film. Remember that pivotal bridge that gave the Scots a strategic advantage? Well, in the movie, the bridge is mysteriously absent, making the English look even more foolish. In reality, the bridge played a crucial role in the Scottish victory. Section 5. The why behind the fiction cinematic license and dramatic effect. So why all the deviations from history? Well, it boils down to 2 words: cinematic license. Filmmakers often take liberties with historical events to create a more compelling narrative. They might embellish characters, invent subplots, or rearrange historical timelines to heighten the drama and emotional impact. In the case of Braveheart, the filmmakers wanted to create a rousing tale of heroism and rebellion, even if it meant sacrificing some historical accuracy. They wanted audiences to root for Wallace as an underdog fighting for a just cause, even if it meant simplifying his motivations and exaggerating his exploits. And let's be honest, a historically accurate portrayal of 13th century warfare with its mud, disease, and brutal hand-to-hand combat might not have been as appealing to a mass audience. Section 6. History versus Hollywood, a delicate dance. The relationship between history and Hollywood has always been a bit of a tightrope walk. On the one hand, historical films can introduce audiences to different periods and cultures, sparking an interest in the past. They can bring history to life in a way that textbooks and documentaries sometimes struggle to do. On the other hand, the need to entertain often trumps the responsibility to educate. Filmmakers may prioritize dramatic effect over historical accuracy, potentially distorting the past and perpetuating myths. So, how do we reconcile our love for a good story with the importance of historical accuracy? It's all about being critical viewers. Section 7. Braveheart's legacy: fact, fiction, and the power of story. Braveheart, despite its historical inaccuracies, remains a powerful piece of cinema. It shines a light on a pivotal moment in Scottish history, even if it does so through a Hollywood lens. The film's enduring popularity speaks to our fascination with stories of courage, rebellion, and the pursuit of freedom. And while it might not be the most accurate depiction of William Wallace and the wars of Scottish independence, it has sparked countless conversations about Scottish history and identity. It's even credited with boosting Scottish tourism as people flock to visit the sites depicted in the film. Section 8. Beyond the Battlefield: Exploring Scottish History. If Braveheart piqued your interest in Scottish history, I urge you to dig deeper. Explore the real story of William Wallace and the wars of Scottish independence. Delve into the complex relationship between Scotland and England, a story spanning centuries of conflict and cooperation. Discover the rich tapestry of Scottish culture, from its music and literature to its traditions and folklore. You'll find that reality is often far more nuanced and fascinating than any Hollywood fabrication. There are countless books, documentaries, and academic resources available to satisfy your curiosity. Section 9. A final thought: embracing the nuance of history. Braveheart serves as a reminder that history is not a collection of dusty facts and figures. It's a vibrant tapestry woven from the lives, struggles, and triumphs of countless individuals. And while films like Braveheart can offer a glimpse into the past, it's up to us to approach them with a critical eye and a thirst for knowledge. So the next time you watch a historical film, enjoy the drama, the spectacle, and the emotional roller coaster. But don't forget to delve beneath the surface and uncover the real story waiting to be told. Because history, in all its messy, complicated glory, is far more interesting than any Hollywood fiction.